We can do all these things. We can do all these things, but let me tell you this. I can't do it on my own. I am confident. I am confident in my capacity to lead this country. But as confident as I am, what I also understand is that in the history of this nation, change has never come from the top down. It's always come from the bottom up. You know, I was in Selma, Alabama the other day to celebrate the 42nd anniversary of that famous march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Now, I was accompanied by Barbara and my colleague John Lewis, and it was a magnificent day. Everybody was solemn for the occasion. We joined with former President Clinton and Senator Clinton and dignitaries from all around the world to march. And what I was reminded of was the enormous power of ordinary people when they make up their minds that they're tired of what's been and they're looking at what might be. When they make a determination that this country can live up to its ideals. You know, some folks thought that that celebration was a black thing. I said, you don't understand, this is an American thing. Because what happened at the Edmund Pettus Bridge was emblematic of what has always happened in America when we've met challenges. And that is, people have had the audacity, the boldness to believe that something better is right around the bend, that something better is out on the horizon. That is how this country was built. 13 ragged colonies making a decision, we're going to overthrow the tyranny of the most powerful nation on earth, because we don't believe in taxation without representation. And then they formed a union, but it wasn't perfect because it was stained with slavery, and some people said that couldn't change. Except there were a whole bunch of folks who said, no, that's not what the Declaration of Independence says. It says all men are created equal. And they marched and they mobilized, and a civil war was fought until we finally no longer were living in a country that was half slave and half free. And then some woman was sitting across the dinner table, and she looked at her husband. She says, I'm smarter than him. How come I don't have the right to vote? And so they marched and they rallied and they organized until they were full partners in this process of building a better America. And then there were a bunch of workers who said, you know, we believe in free enterprise, but we believe we should get a little fair share after all the hard work we're doing. So they started organizing unions to help lift folks up into a middle class and create a minimum wage and opportunity for all people. And then immigrants, they looked out at distant shores. They were feeling comfortable back home, but they said, you know what? There's something good going on in America. I think we better strike out. And so they went over there and calloused hand by calloused hand, brick by brick, they built a better life for themselves and for their family. Through depression and World War and a second emancipation. At each and every stage, we have made a determination that we don't listen to the folks who say we can't do. We don't believe in the can't do, won't even try style of government. We don't believe in that. But we have done it from the bottom up. And so let me just say this today, Oakland, California. I can't do this on my own. This campaign is a vehicle for you. It is a vehicle for your hopes. It's a vehicle for your dreams. When a million voices join together, they cannot be stopped. When a million people say we want health care for all people, then it's going to happen. When a million people say every child deserves a better education, it cannot be stopped. when a million people say that we are going to have an energy policy that makes sense for the planet, it will not be stopped. When a million people say this war is going to come to an end, this war will come to an end. Oakland, California, I want to be a partner with you. I want to work with you. I want to march with you. And if we march together and work together, then I promise you that not only will we have a better America, but I'm going to be the next president of the United States. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.